Hello. So a little bit over a week ago, I released a video where I analyzed the quirks and appearances of Deku's classmates at Eldora Junior High, and you guys seem to love it. My best performing video ever. Over 6,000 views on TikTok and over 21,000 views on YouTube. Holy f. So I've decided to do what Hollywood does whenever anything gets good numbers. Make a sequel. So today I will be analyzing and giving my opinion on the quirks and designs of every single background and side character in My Hero Academia Season 1. Except for the villain attack on the USJ, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about at that section and I think would be better as its own video. Without further ado, let's roll it. Frame 1, my arch enemy Extendo Fingers has returned. I actually didn't realize he's one of the kids who bullied Deku in literally the opening shot, but man, your quirk still sucks. The fat kid with the wings, that's actually a pretty cool quirk. Too bad he was a bully, and also too bad that I'm pretty sure this guy's dead now. I'm pretty sure he got turned into the flying gnome with a stain killed, so womp womp. Next we got this absolute unit. This person's quirk is the ability to turn giant. Now I don't know if his physical appearance, i.e. his face shape, is a part of his quirk or if he always looks like that, but honestly I think this is actually a pretty awesome quirk. These two guys in front of Deku actually have a discussion about what happened. Apparently the guy tried to steal someone's purse, got caught, and turned giant in response. This guy even says it's a shame that this guy turned out to be a criminal with a quirk like his. You know what, dude? I agree. In fact, I have that same opinion about a different character from My Hero Academia. One that I actually made a video about, plug. Now on to the glowing baby. Cute kid, but I'm gonna have to be consistent. Same answer I gave the glowing kid in Deku's class. Your power just really isn't that useful. I'm sure this world has flashlights. You were obsolete from the beginning. You know, until I paused in this frame, I never fully realized what I was looking at. I thought this guy just had a fire quirk. No. It seems like his head can turn into a fire monster. Now at first I thought this might be a crocodile, but I think those might be ears. So maybe a fox? If that's the case, he can morph his head into like a fire kitsune. I'll be honest, that's pretty awesome. But in this frame it seems like he might be panicking about it. This girl seems to have a form of cryokinesis. However, unlike characters like Shoto or Getten, she seems to be able to form ice around her body. Honestly, not bad. Also, how strong must she be? Do you know how heavy ice is, and just to have it around your arms like gauntlets? She must be so much stronger than she looks. And bro up here got telekinesis. I don't really know what you want me to say. Telekinesis is just an awesome power. And let me tell you, if I had telekinesis, I'd be fatter than this guy. I would never get up to get anything, and depending on how strong my telekinesis is, I would never walk anywhere ever again. I just levitate myself everywhere I went. Since this is the only time I'm ever gonna be able to talk about him, Backdraft. What more is there to say? He's just cool. Hydrokinesis and a cool design. Just wish he stuck around more. Speaking of cool guys, this man who was the first person to ever believe in Deku. Honestly, got my respect. But honestly, I wouldn't want to have his quirk, whatever it is. Fleshy ninja star-like protrusions from the head. Like, bro, how do you sleep? Is there just holes in all your pillows? Like, this guy's quirk is potentially an inconvenience. And this random woman that the sludge villain knocked over while running away with the money seems to have some kind of force field quirk. Honestly, that's not bad, and her force field looks pretty cool. I think it looks cooler than the other ones we usually see other characters have. Also, remember that joke I said about the extendo finger guy in the previous video? I can only think of one job your quirk would be in handy for, and I don't think I'm allowed to say it on this platform. I'm gonna be honest, I was joking. And then I watched this segment and listen to what he says.
Or we can sneak into the bar at the station, pick up some ladies.
And look what he does with his hand while he's saying it. Like I was actually joking the first time. What the hell? Now when the heroes show up to rescue Bakugo from the sludge villain, who the hell are these two guys flanking Death Arms? Okay, we're gonna analyze them separately one at a time, starting with this guy. We never even get to see him use his power. But more egregious than that, what the hell is this getup? This has to be the blandest superhero costume I've ever seen. Now I was gonna give him props on the mask, because the mask is kinda cool until I realized something. Bro, the goggles are supposed to go over your eyes. You know, you wouldn't have to cover your face if your goggles actually did their job. But what superhero are you supposed to be, Chicken Man? But yeah, no, thumbs down on this guy. Now for this guy who I'm going to dub the Baller. At least I can tell the theme with his costume. Clearly baseball player inspired, specifically a catcher, given that one of his arms is a giant catcher's mitt. Now we don't actually get to see him doing anything either, so I can't really rate his quirk, but I have to just say one thing. Bro made a choice with this mask. Having the baseball as a ball gag was certainly a choice. I too like running into combat dressed like a gimp. Hero by day, CBT by night, I guess. And this guy's one of Deku's teachers at Eldora. He seems to have the power to detach and manipulate his hand. You see how easy it is to be better than Extendo Fingers? Yeah, but I still really can't think of any good uses for this power. Also, the fact that his hand doesn't stretch and it's still attached by these like little two strings, that feels like a massive vulnerability. Like if you fought someone with any sharp object, that can probably cut off your hand super easy while doing this. I don't really know what this guy's quirk is behind Ida, but he's got elf ears. And apparently he thought his quirk was good enough to try out for the hero course. Now on to the entrance exam. exam, we're gonna see a lot of characters that only appear once and then never again. Like here, firstly, Bald. I'm assuming this guy is wearing a helmet. And bro, what is up with this guy's hair? If this guy's power isn't hair drill, I'm gonna be super disappointed. Also, bro, what have you got in your arm there? This guy's mask has completely changed style within the last shot. This guy looks kinda generic. Also, little bald dude might be smaller than Mineta, holy hell. Dude in yellow has a choice of a suit. You look like you're about to be shot out of a cannon. Also, the second bald dude, remember him? He's the guy with the green vest. I think I might know what his power is. Cause look, in this shot he's right there and he seems to be able to turn his face monstrous. That's it? Your power is furry face? Like, what did he think he was gonna accomplish? Also, a third bald. Also, this frame of some of the pro hero teachers watching the entrance exam. Obviously, we can see Principal Nezo, Cementos, and Ectoplasmer. But who is that other bald guy in the background? Like, who are you? Also, in this shot that Ida and other people run away from the zero pointer, there's this guy as well. His quirk seems to give him like little small red devil horns. I wonder, do you think that's makeup around his eyes or do you think that's part of his quirk? Here we have a few things going on. Firstly, another furry face user. This quirk must be very common. Also, get used to it, you're gonna be seeing it a lot when we get to UA. There's another person with a wing quirk over there, nice. I can't tell what her power is, but she also has too much stuff on her arm. Speaking of arms, what is happening here? What's this dude's quirk? Partial Hulk? Apparently he can turn one of his arms into like a Hulk or Monster Girl arm. Now I'm assuming he's right-handed, given what we see. You better hope that quirk doesn't accidentally activate when you're doing something else, man, oof. Next we have this wide shot of UA cafeteria. Now all the characters are like low poly because they're at a distance. There is a couple stuff we can notice. Firstly, furry face right over here. There appears to be a pink person and a green person sitting over there. And the pink person seemed to have antenna, I think that's what that is. There's two heteromorphs over here. I can't tell what animal this guy is, but that is a legit alien. Like, I'm talking X-Files, Little Green Men alien. That's really all I can notice. Tell me if you notice anything else in this shot. This cafeteria doesn't seem to have much. Just a guy with elf ears again and another bald. We learned that this random lady can apparently draw moisture out of the air and fire it. Basically Kodo or his parents' water hose. Fine quirk. And then finally we have this shot. This is basically a Where's Waldo painting, and as such I'm actually going to treat it like that. I'm not going to do any fancy editing. I'm just going to tell you what I see and then you have to see if you can find it. One thing you'll notice, a lot of characters are copy paste just with different color palettes. Example, I see at least 4 copies of furry face on this screen. I also see at least 3 copies of this one guy with tusks. There's also this one chick with a really square head. But yeah, I recommend pausing the video and just looking at some of these people. Not much to say. In this shot there's just the person with elf ears again, another furry face right there, a couple small stuff in this shot. This person has elf ears again. There's a girl there with cat ears, so I think she might have like a Neko quirk. I don't know what this guy's quirk can possibly be. Man, he has like a cylindrical head. And then there's another guy with elf ears over there. And then one other guy with like jumbo normal ears. Last crowd shot of the video, we have another elf. This purple girl who I actually think is a pretty cool design. I don't know what her power could be. Something to do with her eyes, I'm guessing, given how it looks. We got a member of the Blue Man group up here. And lastly, my guy, what did they do to your hair? The last scene for the video, these 3 fought a villain and oh my gosh, it's that guy again. I didn't even know this guy came back. But let's see who they were fighting. Oh no. That's an unfortunate quirk you got there, buddy. Dash a penis. Like, what's your supervillain name? Dickhead. I don't care if this power comes with super strength and increased size. That is just an awful look. But yeah, that's where I'll end it for this video. This is everything from Season 1 up until the USJ, and I want to do that as a separate video. So thank you for watching. Tell me your favorite part in the comments. Who do you think had the best quirk or the best design? Or the worst quirk and the worst design? And I will see you in the next video.